Hello, everyone, to a new episode of INHAUS Podcast. Today with us is Barbara Wawrzynek, CEO and founder of Human Wanted, also trainer, educator, and facilitator with a strong belief in human being over human doing. Hi, Barbara. It's very nice to have you here. How are you?
Hi, Marek. What a great introduction. Thank you so much, and looking forward to the chat.
Right. So I have a couple of questions that I would like to hear your answers and ideas about. So let's start off with the first one. Barbara, you have like over 18 years of experience in leadership, well-being, and communication roles across major organizations. What moments or insights from that journey inspired you to launch your own company, and how did these experiences shape your perspective of the importance of culture creation in organization?
Okay, I see we're starting strong with the with the big question. I think you can probably realize that this is not such an easy answer, but I will try to simplify the story to the audience. So basically, in the past few years and being in different roles, I have witnessed very interesting paradox. We can call it phenomenon or paradox that has been fascinating me since the very beginning, and I'm truly obsessed about it, and I'm constantly thinking about it. And the paradox, in fact, is that humans are both, in my view, obviously, humans are both a problem and a solution to each other. And that has been honestly just blowing my mind. So in my experience and in my view, I think that truly people and humans are fascinating. They are, full of great potential. They are great systems and an amazing toolkit by itself, but I think they just need the right manual, to perform at their best and to perform at the optimum level. So that's my view. That's how I see, how human functions in the system and how they operate based on human to human, kind of on the human to human level. And I think second important thing to mention, and obviously it's also related to my experience, is that I've come to the realization, I really wonder if you agree with me or not, but I've come to the realization that culture creation is probably not the best concept, and I find it quite abstract and difficult for people to grasp when I work with the organizations, because in my experience and in my view, we do culture every day. And we do culture in everyday behaviors, or shall I say, in everyday micro behaviors. So, obviously that comes with a cost. It costs us high level of engagement that can often turn into burnout, and that's also my personal story. So, when you just put all these, experiences and moments together, I am where I am, and I'm happy to change the world, organizational world for people.
That's a great cause, and I believe, I do agree with you. Shaping the culture is an extremely difficult and long task, and that you need and require really extraordinary amount of commitment to over the long period of time to get some results. But in the end, as you mentioned, this is all shaped in micro behaviors during the usual day. Thank you for this answer. Let me ask you another question. At Human Wanted, you focus on human-centered transformation and behavioral change. Can you walk us through what your company does and how it's different from traditional consulting or training firms?
Listen, I think there are, to be fully transparent, I think there are a lot of amazing experts on the market and a lot of amazing companies. I've worked with them. I've been part of them as well. But I think what I find different in my work, in my approach to work and supporting individuals and teams, is based on a simple, not simple principle. Number one is that I think that, culture, we know that we are not creating but building a culture, which is exhausting by itself. But I think also that change is no longer linear. So when we think about culture change, and I can give an analogy of a house reconstruction. So if you touch one thing, suddenly it impacts other things. So if you paint the wall, suddenly the lamp doesn't fit, or the carpet needs to be replaced. So change happens at different areas, and that's how I work. And I think also that success is non-linear as well. So if you want to be successful nowadays, you need to really invest in yourself in different areas, in multiple areas at the same time. And my kind of approach or recipe to that success is through building, as I call it, functional intelligence. And I believe that what makes you smart or functionally intelligent is a combination of well-being intelligence. We need to keep going. We are small machines in a factory, so that's one. Number two is a social intelligence, because we get jobs done through people. And number three is communication and branding, because whether we do demonstrate behaviors or not, we just build a brand. So that's my concept, and I really believe that we need to make people's profile more complex in a good sense by making the environment easier, right? So it's all about the simplification of the system, simplification of the environment. So kind of targeting different areas at the same time when I work with people.
I have to say, I really like the idea of, on one hand, having to approach the problem from different angles, and on the other hand, you're saying about simplifying the process for everybody. There's an amazing synergy there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Listen, I'm not saying that it's easy, because the environment gets more and more complex, but it pushes us with a stronger force to at least try to think how can we make things simpler or easier for people.
And from your experience working inside large firms, organizations, what are some of the most common pain points companies face when trying to build a high-performing culture? Because it's like high-performing culture is like a peak every company is trying to achieve. What do you think is the biggest pain point there?
Oh, wow. Okay. A lot of them, obviously, a lot of them. And if you consider my almost 20-year experience, I could pinpoint a lot, but I really want to focus on a fundamental one, in my opinion and in my experience, and a fundamental in a sense that it does impact a lot of other problems. Okay, so when we talked about non-linear change, we have also non-linear problems. So in my experience, in my view, one of the biggest problems for large organizations come from the fact that often large organizations don't realize that we are at the end of the day, social enterprises. I think we come to work, we build our small communities, larger communities, and we often forget as organizations, as leaders, that we bring different set of problems as individuals to the system, right? So individuals multiplied by whatever equals big issues. And if you look at humanity or humans, if you look across the group, one of the biggest problems is in fact related to the lack of discipline, and the lack of willpower. We are kind of, we have a strong kickoff, but we really struggle on the way. Like, this journey to get to the success is really hard. And the reason why I'm mentioning the lack of discipline as a challenge, as a problem, is that if you really think about high-performing culture, right, you really want to have a strong discipline of behaviors across different groups, across different dimensions. So when you think about learning, right, when you think about collaboration, celebration, when you think about innovation, it all comes down to the fact whether people are disciplined in their choices, in their decisions, in their behaviors or not. I think you really want to get to the point where your people, your teams have strong discipline, and we're looking for collective discipline.
I think this is an amazing answer, because I've seen this happening so many times. A lot of people gather, have brilliant ideas, and then nothing happens. So yeah, discipline, definitely a key word for me.
Okay, I mean, for all of us, I've been there, you've been there, I'm sure. It also depends on the environment that you're in, but as a basic principle, I think we really want to work on a discipline. If not, we're going to be facing this, I call it like a yo-yo effect, culture yo-yo. You go up and down, you have peaks and lows. It's not the long-term sustainable effect.
I think a crucial role for that to maintain and to teach, to encourage this discipline across the organization are leadership roles. What do you think when it comes to hiring those people? What qualities do you believe matter most today from your perspective? And how can companies move beyond just skills and CVs to identify truly impactful leaders?
Yeah, I totally agree that leaders are not, in an easy position. It's a challenging role, and I think it becomes more and more challenging. However, I think we could use some helpful analogy to explain the concept, and I think to explain the importance of having human-centric workplaces. So I find the analogy of a relationship quite helpful, to be honest. So, and I'm gonna be trying to connect the dots, okay, using this analogy.
Yeah, sure.
So and I'm sure you're with me on this one. So when we think about relationship between human to a human relationship, I think this first step, like getting into relationship, so getting engaged on a first date is quite easy, right? It's like with hiring, you put your best self onto the meeting, you bring your best representative, and it kind of clicks. It's easy, right? And then when you remain in a relationship, you grow, you test things, you try things, you explore. It can even be fun. It should be fun process. But I think the challenge and the real test to the relationship is when you really stay in a relationship in a long term, right? So when you think about partner, your partner, our partners, the key thing to stay long term with your partner is to really feel good with your partner, right? To feel connected, celebrated, appreciated, like really basic things, like fundamental things. And I think it's no different to the relationship that we have as employees with leaders and we as employees have with our organization. So it's really simple, but for some reason, as humans, we tend to complicate things.
Yes, I also seen it many times. Okay, guys, today with us was Barbara Wawrzynek, CEO and founder of Human Wanted. Thank you so much for being here and for your insights. For everybody, follow us for more. See you again in the next episode.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you. All right. To mogę zatrzymać już ten recording.
No i co myślisz, Marku?